Hi guys, so today is actually day 3 of a vaccination. So day 2 turned out to be a bit unmanageable. So before I slept, I was feeling fine, like there was no symptoms, anything at all. So when I woke up, I had really bad headache. Like I had this part was like paining so much, like even when I was like looking at like someone else, it was just paining so much for me to even rotate my eyes. So how was it for you? You look so happy when I say like he's like
I was trying to, I was thinking of, there's no word called painting.
is it? We became so sick. I really did not expect to feel so sick, but yeah, like I was just like, oh, I eat so healthy and then I work out so much, I might not have the effects. Like you saw, right? The previous video, I was like flexing my arms and feeling all cool. Well, yesterday was the opposite of that because it was even a task for me to get out of bed because when I woke up, this part of my forehead was paining so much that it was even difficult for me to move my eyes. Like if somebody was calling me and I had to look like that, then it hurt. So I was like just rotating my head and not moving my eyeballs because it hurt a lot. So what was it like for you?
For me, on the day of the vaccination, like I said, probably because I didn't sleep, I just felt tired. So I slept. But I woke up with a massive headache.
Like was your headache also on
No,
your
mine is
forehead or on the temples?
On my temple, both sides of the temple.
So I think he was more stressed out because if I'm not mistaken, that's more like a stress headache.
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe dating me is very stressful for him.
Stress of not sleeping, the stress of always waiting for you.
Anyways,
aside from that, yes, coming back to the effects of the vaccination, probably it could be both because I didn't get much sleep and the vaccination working its way into my body. So I woke up with a massive headache. That was the day of the vaccination. The next day is worse because I have
yesterday, day 2 was really bad.
The place where they inject the vaccine hurts. It's kind of sore and a little bit painful when you press on it or like put pressure on it.
But when I woke up, my entire body was sore. The vaccination arm didn't feel really weird, but towards like probably around 4-5 o'clock, like 24 hours after the vaccination, that was when the soreness in the rest of my body went, and only in the arm that where I put the vaccination remained.
Yesterday and day before, I ended up taking 3 tablets.
So I took only
one day before.
So you took on day 1 night, and on day 2 you took twice. So I didn't take on day 1. Day 2 also I thought I would probably be able to combat the side effects by evening, but by evening I started feeling feverish and my headache was like really bad. I think it's best to actually have Dolo handy with you just in case, because I think it will affect everyone.
Not specifically Dolo, but any paracetamol too.
Yeah, so he had a Saridon. Did you also have a Dolo? No, you just had Saridon.
I know. On the first day, I took one paracetamol that we had.
Okay.
Second day, I took Saridon.
Okay. I just took a Dolo yesterday night, day 2 night.
It took quite a long time if we're talking about how long it takes to book the vaccination, because it depends on the availability of the vaccine and the slots to book appointment. So I've looked up on how people booked, how people who have successfully got the vaccine, how they were able to get the appointment. So I found some ways that some other people suggested. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get yourself registered on the CoVIN website. You can do it directly in the website, or you can do through Arogya Setu. I'm sure everybody's already aware of that. Second, and I think this is the most important part, is if you have a Twitter account, follow Bangalore Vaccine. There are alerts for almost all the states. Yes. Okay. So since we're in Bangalore, I followed Bangalore Vaccine. That is a bot created specifically to alert the availability of slots and appointment slots in the COVID app. There are a lot of other ways you can get alerts like Paytm, Telegram groups and all that, but nothing beats the Twitter, because Twitter is the fastest in terms of giving you the alerts. If you don't have a Twitter, it's worth signing up for Twitter and following Bangalore Vaccine. So once you follow Bangalore Vaccine, it's important you have the notifications turned on, because the moment the slots are open, you get the notification, and in the notification you will be able to see the pin code, the date, and the number of slots available for the hospital. Once you register and sign in the COVID app, there are two ways of checking for the appointment slots. You can search by state and district, and you can search by pin code. So I would suggest don't even bother searching by state and district. Always search pin code. First, sign in to the app. Go to the search by pin tab. If you want, pre-fill 5600, because that's pretty much the same for all the Bangalore pin codes. So, and wait. From what I've experienced and noticed, there are a couple of times when the appointment opens a lot. Like there are peak times when you get a lot of appointments opening up. So those are from morning 6:30 to 9:30, afternoon 12 to 3 p.m. and then in the evening between 6 to 9. So those three durations have the most number of slots opening during that time. When you log into the CoWIN app, it only allows you to be logged in for 15 minutes or so. After that, it logs you out. So you have to keep logging in again, wait for 15 minutes, and then again log in again. You need to be patient, you need to persevere.
How long did it take for you to book the vaccine? More than a month or a month?
More than a month. Even after I know that, it doesn't mean that you can get it immediately, because it depends on the number of slots that the hospitals open. If they open like 50 to 100 slots a day, it's extremely difficult to get because the demand is high. So yes, most important thing, perseverance and patience.
I'm gonna hate that.
That's all that is required, because under the current circumstances, there's shortage of vaccine and appointment slots. So whoever dedicates the most time in trying to book the appointment, I think has more chance of getting it, right? It's not a foolproof or surefire way to get the appointment. You just have to keep trying. Even if you know all this, it doesn't mean you get it in your first try. Like I had to try for a month.
Because you have perseverance and you are patient.
I mean, not really that, but yeah, what can you do? If you don't get, you don't get. For people who want to get the vaccine as early as possible, you just have to keep trying. Don't give up. You may not get it in the first week, second week, but you have to keep trying. And it depends on the number of slots the hospitals open. When a particular hospital opens 600, 700 slots, it's easier to get slot because there's more appointment.
So next slot is after 82 days, right?
84.
84 days.
For covishield, according to the new guidelines, the second dose is supposed to be taken after 84 days and preferably before 112 days.
112.
So you have about a month's time.
So
from the 84th day.
So on the third month, no matter what, it's better we put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start trying to book the slots for your dose 2. Right? Dose 2 should be...
one question I have, can you pre-book your slots for like 1 month later? It has to be like...
It depends on when they open, right? If the hospital opens a slot for 1 month later, then yes, you can book. But the hospital doesn't open slots like that. Nobody will actually. Max they will open will be for a week's time in one go. They cannot do it because right now I think it's pretty much impossible because of the shortage of vaccines. If there's abundance of vaccine, yeah, they can even open slots for a month. I mean, I've seen that for 45 plus, you can book for an entire month. Like there are appointments open for a month from now also, because that is a priority right now to get the 45 plus vaccinated, dose 1 and dose 2.
So you think we can get it easily than the first dose?
We can't really say. It depends on the availability of the vaccine, right? So right now, not even 10% of the population is vaccinated, right? So that is just taking into consideration those one, right? Forget those two,
Yeah.
right? So obviously, once you get those one, probably maybe the government will prioritize for people who have already gotten those one to get those two, but again, they can't leave out those one for people who are not yet vaccinated. So that is how they separate or divide the number of vaccines they have to dose one and dose two, right?
So I know that a lot of you are still scared to get a vaccination done. I don't think which vaccine you put on you really matters. I think what matters eventually is that you got vaccinated, and it's just a simple jab. Like, there's nothing to be scared about. Like, see, the side effects of the vaccination is nothing against the fear and the anxiety of actually combating a disease which has no cure for. Like, it kind of negates that entire fear.
Even if somebody tells you this is the better vaccine, it's not proven. Both are the vaccine, both are proven to be equally effective, so it doesn't matter which one you get, whichever is available for you or whichever you can book. Essentially, it's pretty much the same. It's just they come from different manufacturers with different, what do you call it,
Names.
composition. Yeah, just for patent's sake, I guess. But yeah, even though if we here in India we call it covishield, the rest of the world call it AstraZeneca vaccine. So it comes from AstraZeneca. In India, we call it covishield.
Cool. So I think, guys, that kind of concludes our vaccination journey. I really wanted to document this phase because I think living in pandemic was not something we had anticipated at all. Initially, I thought it would just be like a common cold, but unfortunately, that was 2 years ago, and we're still fighting that. Thank you so much for watching this today. I hope you kind of enjoyed the entire talking series, and I hope that you also got some kind of information out of our videos. It took us 1 month to get the vaccination, which means that if we could probably tell you how we were able to get it, I think you would probably be able to get it in like 1 week. I hope you do. And that's about it.
And lastly, yes, I want to say thank you and big shout out to Bangalore Vaccine, the person who created the alerts. That has helped a lot of people. They do it for free just because.
It's not a government funded, right?
No. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you to whoever has watched our video. And stay safe, and we shall get over this. Get over this? Yeah, we shall get over this together. Bye.